What's up everyone? Welcome back. For today's video, we're going to go over how I use intraday fibs specifically for day trading using that daily range. So first thing first, when it comes to fibs, we need to understand swing low and swing highs and impulse moves. So swing lows are also the beginning of our impulse moves in an uptrend. In a downtrend, swing highs are the beginning of our impulse move. So what we're looking for in using these fibs is an impulse move, and we want one in one direction and one in the other. Most of the time that second one would be what we would call a pullback. So first thing first, just looking at SPY here, we do see a little bit of a bullish trend here intraday. So what I do, we have our first moves here. So first our low here and then our high here. This is our high. We see that the opposite side comes in, case being those puts, the sellers come in here heavy. So in this case, this is where I love to use intraday fibs, just from the low of the day, that first impulse move up towards the high. I don't really look too much in this first 15, maybe 30 minutes, just because we usually don't have an impulse move in this case when it comes to the indices. Overall tickers, just ticker names, sometimes do. But what I'm looking for when it comes where I want to buy, most of the time I'm looking for this 618 to 0.5 is my optimal zone, but the golden zone here between 382 and the 618 is optimally where I want to buy. In a bullish trend, I'm looking for those long lower wicks indicating buyers coming in, not sellers. Don't want those in a bull trend. Anyways, looking for those come in, and I set my target back at that high of the 0 or the previous swing high. Now, once we take this out, we can do the same exact thing. So in this case, remove that, and the same thing. I still have my swing low down here, but I have a new swing high. This is my original swing. This is my new swing high right up here at 406.2, 406.19. And we can see again, we get this nice retracement down to that 382 into the golden zone. Another good potential spot. We see we have some bullish patterns forming here. And then we get our retest, another great spot for an entry for our calls. Now let's look at a downtrend example using Qs here. So if I use QQQ, and I'm going to flip these on so we can see a little bit better. So in terms of a downtrend, same thing, right? We have our swing high here to our swing low. And I'm looking for that 618 level optimally in that golden zone to buy into my puts. Have a nice tweezer top action here. And then we also get a retest here too. Pretty good entry spots. Swing low is really going to be my optimal target, but that doesn't always happen. So in trends like this where we do have this strong push up, I'm looking at the bottom of that golden zone here, 382. I like that level a lot for looking for a price target. And anything below that, I would consider to be, just a little bit extra profit to grab, adjusting my stop loss up along the way. Now this works really great with Qs, SPYs, but it also works really good with individual tickers. Let's look at Roblox here. So as we can see, the first thing that comes, we have this nice move. Okay, would I call this an impulse? Probably not, but we do have an impulse move all the way up here. As we see that these sellers do come in. And in this case, looking for that same thing, we get that great retest. And then we have this nice bullish candle formation here. If I flip this to the 10-minute, that candle is a nice hammer candle here after a little bit of sell-off. Some nice pullback. As we can see, it is in a support zone as well. Just adding my confidence there. So that's a very great spot for our buy. In our first target up here, we do get it. We hit it a couple times. Whatever. So when I'm looking to scale, I'm going to scale in here. I'm going to set a trailing stop. Usually I like to use 15-20%. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But if it does continue to run, I can move my stop loss up accordingly later in the day. In this case, not much happens for a majority of the day and then finally pushes back through. But we do see a nice move we can catch here just using simple fibs and the candlestick patterns that we know. Now let's look at Microsoft, another update here for Microsoft. But we do, again, no break here, no impulse move yet, but we do finally get that impulse move from our low to our high, and there's our retracement down to that 618. See some nice buyers stepping in this candle. This is where it would get my attention. That second candle, that helps to confirm that these buyers want to buy at this level, and we push up. A reason why Fibonacci levels or fib retracements, all that good stuff works is because majority of the market, about 70% moves off of algorithmic trading, and most of those larger institutions have a way to trade based off algorithms, so they don't have to actively watch it as much, and they can just let their algorithm do its thing. A lot of these algorithms use fib levels, so if we can take advantage of those fibs with knowledge we already have, it's a way we can gain an edge over everyone else. Fibs can also be used in multiple different ways. This is how I really use it intraday for day trading, not trying to make it too complicated. And the hardest part would be, knowing where a true impulse move comes in. And in that case, we want to see some good movement in the opposite direction. In this case, we see that sellers have stepped in here pretty heavy, get that flush down, but we have these big candle here. How would we know, difference between maybe we set it here and setting it here? This long upper wick, that's really what I look for when setting them in the actual day of the play, is I like to see those long upper wicks or tweezer top actions. In a long upper wick like this is almost a dead giveaway. Sometimes an impulse move is coming, and we can look for a possible retracement to buy in at that golden zone, preferably, the 618 if we can hit it there. That's just, great, awesome, amazing, whatever you want to call it. But optimally looking for those 382 down to the 618 golden zone, and each ticker is going to be a little bit different. They respect their levels more intraday, whatever it may be. But one thing that does come with it is the more a ticker moves, so the higher the ATR on a ticker, usually they respect these fib levels better. Meta is one of my favorites when it comes to fib levels because it tends to respect them very, very closely every single day, no matter, if I set them intraday or if I set them from previous or prior trading days.